Okay, we're live. Cool. So, so yeah, I mean, I'm so pumped that you're here, Ameer. I'll just give like the quick story about how you and I guess, kind of virtually met. It's kind of these days, it's all online.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think I was originally because you were on Lewis Howe's podcast. Hey, Fabi. Hey, Fabi. We're
Hey,
just
how are
get
you?
good, good. This is Amir here. We're just getting started.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, just saying how we met. Like you were on Lewis Howe's podcast, and you just get like I was at a point where I was doing so much, and I felt like my biggest restrainer was actually energy. Like I had all these things I wanted to do, and like energy was just like that was like my bottleneck because I just didn't have enough energy to do what I want to do. And then someone gave me that podcast he did with Lewis Howes, and I thought that what I had to do was like just beef up my nutrition or something like that, but like you completely shattered that theory in my mind and like went even further to the foundation of where you have to go to start, dealing with these energy issues and all that stuff in Lewis's podcast, and it just was like it was amazing. I just loved it. So then I reached out to you and found out that we were in a group together, and all this stuff. So you and I connected there, but it was awesome. And I started doing what you recommended, and it changed. It really really helped. I'll be honest, I've gotten away from it now, and I got to get back into it. But it was so awesome. So I'm really pumped to have you here, Ameer. And kind of impart a bit of knowledge to all of the members here at Sterling. So what I'm thinking for this call, what we could do is, you and I can talk for a bit, and love just to go over your story and how you got into all this, and then, I think what we could focus on this call, and feel free to do whatever you think, Ameer, but I'm thinking like there's so many cool advanced things on your website, so everyone's listening, go to ameerrosic.com. Like I was saying, there's so many cool things on there I want to dive into. But maybe just like I think we could start, talking quite about a bit about the just how to optimize energy as an entrepreneur and how to like optimize your routines and all that stuff. But and then at the end of that, we can open it up for a Q&A for everyone, for you guys here and everyone that ends up joining. That would be pretty awesome. That sounds good.
Yeah, well, Josh, thanks for having me on this show, podcast, episode,
Yeah,
or whatever you
yeah,
want to call
yeah.
it. Mini little mastermind thing.
Yeah.
Basically, when it comes to like optimizing your health, Bruce Lee has a saying, simplicity is the key to brilliance. And people like to overcomplicate things. Oh my God, I got to go low carb, high carb, paleo, veganism, pescatarianism. In reality, is the more complicated you make your daily routines, I guarantee you're going to fail. That is the reality that we live in. The more simple you make your life, the better. Okay? So instead of us trying to create rules that we want, we have to look into nature. Einstein, Tesla, they say if you want to achieve excellence, study nature. Study frequencies, study vibrations, and look deep into nature. So if we look at human evolution, look at what dictates optimal health, yes, food is really one small portion of it. However, what really matters for optimal health is your environment. And I'm going to break it down into three things, okay? Number one is sleep, okay? And after I talk about the three things, we'll dive in deep into each topic. So number one is sleep. Number two is water, okay? And number three, I call it nature, outdoors, time for yourself. Those are the three things, okay? Sleep, water, nature. These are consistent among all peoples of the world. So you can go around the world, you can see different diets, different cultures, different ideas, ideologies, etc. However, everybody needs sleep, everybody needs water, everybody needs time in nature. Now the first thing for optimal health is sleep. You can spend your time eating super healthy, you can go to the gym, 1 hour, 2 hours, they can do all this stuff, but if you're not sleeping right, your hormones aren't repairing. Your immune system is not repairing. Your neurotransmitters aren't repairing. And as entrepreneurs, we got to be on our A game. Okay? You got to have good concentration, good mindset, good memory, good reflexes. And I'm here to tell you right now, the sleep controls all of that. You got issues concentrating, it's because of lack of sleep. You're not.
And that was game changing for me. Like that, I didn't know that was the case. This is so cool. Okay.
Yeah, it's connected to every single detail of your body, and that's why that's the first of my base pyramids. I have a pyramid structure for optimal health, and the first thing is sleep. Forget diet, forget exercise, is sleep. The question is, what constitutes optimal sleep? Once again, we got to look at nature, not man's law. You know, we don't make laws, and this is why you're seeing today a rapid rise in sickness. The WHO, so World Health Organization, states by the year 2025, they're predicting up to 40% of the human population will have cancer. 40%, 40.
Wow.
Not to mention, they're saying 20% will have a metabolic issue. That's heart disease, cholesterol issues, arterial sclerosis issues, all these, you know, biochemical issues in your body. That's not normal. So that's why sleep must be there. And if we're looking at nature, this is how sleep works, a proper sleeping cycle. We are controlled by the sun. When the sun goes up, our bodies are actually energized. So there's something from the sun called quanta packs, energy packs, electrons, protons, neutrons, and they actually energize our hormones, okay? And this is why we're active throughout the day. Your testosterone is activated, your cortisol, you know, your so-called stress hormone is activated, norepinephrine is activated, your dopamine is activated, your neurotransmitters are activated. And this is the polar opposite at nighttime. So when you're not in the presence of light, so it's dark, your daytime hormones go down. That means cortisol decreases, testosterone decreases, estrogen decreases. However, your nighttime hormones increase, such as, you know, GABA and melatonin, your sleep hormone. The problem today, though, is, look at this. You know, I'll show you this camera. See, we got these lights. You know, we got these computers over here, and the sun sets. For example, right now, let's say we're living in a four-season area. The sun's setting right now around 8 o'clock. We're still around light at nighttime. Your body doesn't know the difference. Your body still thinks it's daytime. And it's actually causing your hormones to literally fall apart. And funny enough, the guy just yesterday won a Nobel Peace Prize in physics for the discovery that artificial light pretty much at nighttime causes sickness. Okay, the guy literally was yesterday, just breaking news, just for less than 48 hours ago, okay? So if you want to really optimize your sleep and health, one of the most simplest things you can do is, before you go to bed, and I recommend everyone goes to bed at 10 o'clock, at 8 o'clock, no artificial light at nighttime. And even the World Health Organization is saying the artificial light is a carcinogenic. So that means no cell phones, no computers, no laptops, no nothing. This should be you time. So if you have a family, dim the lights, chill out with them, relax with them, you know. If you have, you know, a partner, maybe for example, myself, I have a partner, we talk to each other, or we maybe read some books, we have some activities together, but we're not around fake lights, we're not around electronics. This is time for your body to downgrade, to download the processes of the day and to chill out. So that's the first step. You know, you got to eliminate the light at nighttime, and you got to let your body repair, because if you don't repair, I don't care what ambitions you have, I don't care what you want to do, it's not going to work, because your body's going to fall apart. And the only true thing you have in this life to succeed is your health. You know, you can have the greatest ambitions and desires to change the world, but if your body's not functioning properly, you can't do it at that X level, you know, the nth degree that you should be doing it at. So you have to respect yourself, and you have to start going to bed according to nature. Remember, man does not make the laws. Nature makes the laws. Okay, so that's number one. So number two is this, water. Not just any water. See, our cells, 70% and up, are made of water. And all your energy, that means ATP, so adenosine triphosphate, is created from H2O. All your hormones need water. Your neurotransmitters need water. Your brain cells need water, okay? Now ask yourself this. How many times do you have slumps throughout the day? You know, you may have a slump at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, like, oh, I need coffee. Oh, I need tea, I need this. I guarantee you, you're dehydrated. You do not drink enough water. at all. And you don't drink enough of the right water, because most people drink fluoridated water, that's tap water, that has chlorine, that has pharmaceutical chemicals. In fact, studies are showing that because of the women's contraceptive pills and all this other stuff being flushed down the toilet, they're finding high amounts of these estrogen molecules in tap water. So men are drinking tap water, and that's why we have a global decrease of sperm motility. In fact, it's up to 50% globally speaking. So the males are disappearing. There's documentaries and studies going around the world about this. And tap water is poisonous for your cells. In fact, that fluoride for women cause hypo and hyperthyroidism because it looks very similar in molecular weight to iodine. And iodine is your master molecule when it comes to creating T4, T3, which is your master hormone. So pretty much fluoride takes the place of iodine, and that's why you see an issue with goiters or thyroid issues with women. And at the end of the day, we don't drink enough of the water. So this is what I do. I have this guy every day. This is reverse osmosis water. I make sure I have 4 liters every single day. This is going to help you think faster. This is going to help your neurotransmitters. This is going to give you 10 times more energy. This is going to bring you to the next level that you've never felt before. This is something so simple, but yet mandatory in human evolution. And I'll give you guys a crazy mind trip over here. I can take water from your cell and take water from the ocean and put it underneath a microscope and give it to a scientist and tell the scientist which is human, which is the ocean. But I won't tell them what's what. They can't tell the difference. Think about that. That's how important water is. We come from the ocean, theoretically speaking, you know, bacteria, minerals, etc. So ask yourself this. Instead of reaching for the coffee, how often do you reach for healthy water? And if the answer is not enough, you have to change it. I recommend everybody. I deal with entrepreneurs. I deal with top executives, Fortune 500 executives. I tell them, forget your mumbo-jumbo supplements. Forget your coffee. You know, I'm not against coffee. I just had my morning espresso at 7 a.m. However, I make sure I get at least 4 liters of water in my day. Okay? So that's the second thing. Number 3 is nature. Luc Montagnier, in the year 2000, won another Nobel Peace Prize. And that discovery was that our DNA, our nucleotides, a double helix, actually vibrates on the frequency of the Schumann resonancy. This is the frequency found between the ionosphere and the Earth. The Earth has its own harmony, this frequency. Our DNA is connected to it. In fact, every single living life form on this planet resonates on the Schumann resonancy. This is how the Earth evolved, and this is how we live. Let me ask you this. How often are you in nature that you're actually connected to the Earth? Meaning laying against a tree, meaning being barefoot on the ground. If the answer is, I don't do that at all, then I want you to really reconsider what you're doing. Because there is many studies right now showing that spending even a minimum amount of anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes a day being in nature, say barefoot or even laying on the ground with your jeans because your jeans aren't insulated, it can go through, can help you increase your happiness, your serotonin levels, decreases cortisol levels, improves your sleep, improves your immune system. Because as humans, we evolved in nature. We're not meant to walk around in shoes. And I'm not even talking about how shoes even cause, you know, lower back problems. We're meant to be connected to the Earth. Ask yourself this. Why do you feel good when you're on vacation on the beach? You're walking barefoot on the sand. You're in the sun. You're getting the electrons. You're getting the Schumann resonancy from the planet into your body. You're chilling out. You're feeling good. You're in nature. You hear sounds of nature. You see nature. We evolved this way. We need it for optimal health. And the more you spend time indoors around electronics, disconnected from the planet, the sicker you become. And this is what's happening today. Entrepreneurs, specifically in the tech world, are one of the sickest people I've ever seen in my life. They have metabolic issues. They have high rises of tumors in their mind, in their brains going on. Why? Because they're not connected to the planet. You know, they're around EMFs all day. They're not drinking enough water. They're not sleeping properly. So ask yourself, do you go to sleep according to nature? Do you avoid light? Do you drink enough water? And do you connect yourself back to the planet every day? And if the answer is no, I want you to start doing this on a day-to-day basis. And as you can see, I didn't address food because food is not fundamental for optimal health because each of us have a unique biochemistry. What diet works for me may not work for you. However, all humans must obey this law of nature when it comes to sleep, water, and reconnecting back to nature.
That's really, really cool, man. So that even went even more in depth than, you know, these other things that I even talked to you about, the water and nature part for sure. Anyone can unmute themselves if they want to ask questions and stuff, but I have a few questions. So what was so, like, the one thing I changed after talking to you, Ameer, you know, whatever that was, maybe 6 months ago, 7 months ago, was just the sleep. And I'll tell you, like, I've had energy issues for the longest time. Like, I just like, why am I so low energy? Like, I just don't understand it. Like, and the thing that changed is I started doing exactly what you said. I started shutting, well, even you know, even I could have done better. Like, at that point, I was shutting off my lights and stuff around like 9 o'clock at night. So this was my routine. I would shut off my lights around 9 o'clock at night. And then I would use, like, I would shut the lights out too, and I'd use, like, as much as I could, I'd use candles. You know, and I'd go have a bath. I would do some, like, scripture reading and then visualization and go to bed, get in my bed at 10 p.m. And I'll tell you, like, that was the best routine I've ever had. It felt so good. And then on the other part of it, you know, you recommended waking up at a certain time. I didn't get to the 5:45, but basically waking up with the sunset. But the main thing that really hit me hard, what you said last time too, was in terms of sleep, was the consistency, because our body is meant to be in a consistent circadian cycle, I think you said, right?
Circadian rhythms, yeah.
Yeah, so that was one thing. Like, I'll tell you, like, what you're saying here, especially like what I've tested is the sleep thing. I thought it was nutrition, I really did, but like that sleep thing is so foundational, getting in that routine. And the reason why I did it, the one thing you said that you kind of posed a question like, why wouldn't I want to have the most energy during my waking hours for my whole life? Like, why wouldn't I do what I got to do that? And whether it's going to bed, if, you know, most of us go to bed like 12, 1, like, what's that doing for us, right? It's not doing anything. Like, why don't we just, like, yeah, we're going
You want to know something crazy? Get this. Being sleep deprived for 2 days, so they broke that down into hours. I meaning, if you're only getting around 4 hours of sleep per night, you have the same blood sugar levels as a diabetic.
Wow.
That's reality. Simple things as in fixing your sleep, I guarantee it, they can lose weight without even changing your diet. I guarantee you will improve your energy levels. I guarantee your concentration will improve. I guarantee every single aspect of your life will improve.
Yeah.
By fixing your sleep. As simple as that. In fact, last year they came out with a study to show that your cerebral spinal fluid goes into your brain at nighttime when you have healthy sleep and actually removes plaque from your brain, like a dishwasher. Now, let me ask you, today there's something rampant going on. It's called multiple sclerosis. Okay? That's the myelin sheet being degraded. Myelin is your insulation for your glial cells, your nerves. Think of like same thing like the cable, you know, electrical wires in the wall, they have insulation, it's rubber. That's myelin for your mind. The cerebral spinal fluid goes in there and removes plaque, so debris on that myelin. However, when you have lack of sleep, your spinal fluid doesn't go in there. That plaque accumulates, same like your gums and teeth if you don't wash them properly, right? And the myelin disappears. MS is on the rise. Parkinson's on the rise. All these neurological diseases are on the rise. Why is that? What has changed in the last 100 years from the Industrial Revolution? I think the year was 1914. The average sleeping time was 10.5 hours. Can you guess what it is today?
6.5 maybe.
6 hours.
Wow.
6 hours. But And that doesn't even include the lights that we're exposed to at nighttime.
Yeah.
That's how important sleep is.
Yeah. So like
Hey,
actionable
just one second. I gotta quickly, plug in my charger.
Yeah, no worries. Go for it. You guys can feel free to unmute yourselves too. He's kind of done his main talk. I know I muted you guys all, but this sleep thing's so important. I'd love to hear what you guys do for sleep too, if it's consistent or if you kind of have this cycle down or not. So what would you? So you guys here on the call, like, what are your sleep habits like right now? Aga, Fabi, Rick.
Mine are really bad right now. I went to Brazil 2 weeks ago, and I literally went to bed at 9:30 and I woke up at 6:37, just like when the sun was rising, and I never felt better in my life. So it makes total sense what you're saying. And right now I came back to the city and like came back into my routine, my life, and I'm not sleeping at all. I'm sleeping at like 1, 2 o'clock, waking up at 8, and I'm feeling like shit. So it makes total sense, and I'm gonna try to change that.
Rick, you said you get to sleep around 10 or 10:30 at night. Can't ever get up. You can't ever get up come morning, probably because your son makes noise all night.
Yep. Yeah, just like a lot of. I think there's a lot going on in the room, pretty much like the whole night, and it's also on the north side of the house, I guess. It's north, so then the sun doesn't get back there for a long time, which I pretty much it's amazing. I've noticed there's a huge difference. If I have a window with sun shining on me in the morning, I'll wake right up. If I don't have sunlight, I'll sleep forever. Like I have to have 20 alarms to get up if there's no sun.
Yeah.
Well, they have these pretty cool dawn simulators coming out soon. I think they're still in the early phases.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need another 2-3 years to get the technology right, but they will. You can set a timer. It runs on batteries, so there's no EMFs off of it. So basically, it will go according to your time zone for the sunrises, and it works at 20,000 lux, and kind of wakes you up naturally, and it kind of mimics the sun.
I think I need that. I live up north in Scotland on like a super remote island. There's no sun whatsoever.
I would recommend for anybody throughout the day. I have one myself because in BC you go through like 3 to 4 months of like no sun at all throughout the winter time, kind of really like depressing, similar to UK weather as well. And I would recommend a light therapy box. So you can go on Amazon and get a Philips brand. It's 10,000 lux. It's about like anywhere from £50 to $100. And I would use this guy religiously throughout the day beside your workstation. So I have one beside my computer. It's like a unit like this. You stick your head in it, or you can just let it shine like this. But the whole idea is it kind of mimics to a certain degree of the sun, not UVA, UVB, but just the brightness of the sun. And it's actually in Europe, though. So if you're located in Scotland, Europe, some countries actually label this as a medical device, and you can get covered by your insurance.
Ameer, I love this. What other tools would you recommend to buy? I know that you talked about was it amber light or something?
I would recommend blue light blocker glasses by Uvex. They're construction glasses, but I kid you not, those $10 glasses are the same as $200 glasses. The funny thing, though, a study just came out from a third-party laboratory that just did double-blind studies. They didn't know what the heck's what, and that Uvex glasses, as for construction, came back the best.
Really? And when would you wear those? What's the purpose of that?
To block out the blue light. So even though at night, for example, say at 8 o'clock, I'm telling everyone to shut off the lights, I would still put on those glasses because some people don't have the luxury. For example, you have kids, and maybe you dim the light, and maybe you can't tell your kids to go to bed. They're not going to listen to you. However, you can dim the light. Even though that dim light is small, it can still affect you. So I recommend wearing those glasses. Even sometimes if you want to watch a quick movie with, say, your wife or girlfriend or boyfriend, you can always, put a movie on the computer with the program called Flux. Yeah. So that program also it's free program, Flux, Flux, and that can make your screen red and orange. But it's not enough. I always recommend putting those glasses on.
Okay, cool. And then ideally, as far as light, you just turn the lights off and use candles. Is that what you're saying?
Candles, or you can buy, for example, my master bedroom, I call it the red light district, but pretty much I go on Amazon and I just buy cheapo red lights.
Okay.
Simple as that, yeah.
Cool.
It's like $4, $5.
That's so awesome. This is so cool. So then the ideal, like, kind of for actionable stuff for everyone here, the ideal routine to go away for, for sleep would be lights out at 8 p.m. and then just start, like, wear your blue glasses, do, like, have a bath with Epsom salts, maybe relax, do some reading.
Well, remember, you have to chill out.
Yeah.
We're like computers, and you only have so much amount of random access memory, and if you keep on going throughout the night, your body doesn't have enough sufficient time to process the information to chill out. And this has to do with the hormone cortisol and melatonin. They work opposite. So cortisol is the sun. They're just think of it as the sun. Melatonin is the moon, right? So you have to chill out before bed and let your melatonin increase to put you to sleep and let your body heal. So that's why it's really important that you just chill out at nighttime. Take time to spend time with your family, relax, dim the lights, let your mind wander. There should be no reason why you need to be hustling and bustling the last 2 hours of the night. Is that last 2 hours really going to make a world of a difference in the long run in your life, of your business? No, not really. Not at all, right? You can save it for the next day, right? There should be no reason you should be emailing at 9 p.m. at night or chit-chatting crazy at 9 p.m. at night. Take time for yourself. Enjoy yourself, Well, that's why we're here. We're on this planet to have fun, relax, enjoy, and be healthy. That's the purpose of living.
Cool, man. And then as
I
far
have
as...
a question.
Yeah, go ahead, Tabby.
So how do you break the cycle? So if I'm sleeping at 1:30 now, I can't go to like 8 p.m. or 9. That's like a big difference. My body.
So say you're at 1:30, I would set your alarm to go for, like, say 12 o'clock. So make sure your cell phone rings at 12 o'clock. And at 12 o'clock, I'll turn off all the lights. I would then relax, no electronics. You should not be on your electronics. I'll take a book to read. And maybe, as Josh was saying, I would draw a nice hot bath and add Epsom salts into it and just relax and chill. So I do that sometimes too. So nice hot bath, maybe 2 full cups of Epsom salts in there, and just read a cool book with maybe a candle or 2 on the side so I have some light for the book. And then slowly work your way back. So if you did that at 12, you get tired by 1 instead of going to bed at 1:30. Maybe do that for a week. And then next week, instead of going to bed at 1, you go to bed at 12:30 and so forth, and slowly work your way back. You can use the aids of, like, melatonin supplementation. However, a lot of people depend on it, and it's not optimal to use it every single night. But I would recommend you can use it as a tool for 1 week and take anywhere from 3 to 2 milligrams in a liquid form for just 7 days straight.
Okay.
I have a question. So how do you manage your energy throughout the day? Like, how do you break your day to make the most, I guess, like, energy-wise?
For me, I never have slumps, though. Like, based on how I live my life, like my lifestyle, how I sleep, the water I drink, my mindset, I don't have energy slumps. I'm an energizing bunny throughout the day, and everyone can have this. You don't need
Can you focus for like 8? Like, how long can you focus? Because obviously, I guess you need to break.
Focus, though. People think humans naturally should be able to focus for 8 hours. That's not the case at all. You can see neuroscientists, they talk about this. Studies after studies show that, like, at the most, you have like a 2-hour focus period. But they also show this, though. What you think needs 5 hours to do can in fact be done in 2 hours. We think we need 5 hours to accomplish a task. In reality, if you really break it apart, it can be accomplished much faster. So what I do is I do the principles of the one thing. Gary Keller talks about this. Fantastic book. I highly recommend everybody reads the book. Is at the beginning of my day, I make sure I get that one pivotal thing that must be done. It can be something so simple as sending an email, making a phone call, for example, product creation. So I chunk off 2 hours of my morning for that. The rest of the day, I don't care what I get done. I have a schedule, yes, but I don't care if I do it or not. You know, I'm not going to be pulling my hair out of my head because I made sure my one most important thing was done this morning. And there's people from like Daniel Lieberman, my buddy UJ Randis talks about this. You cannot build willpower. There's no such thing as like, oh, you have unlimited willpower. Think of a car. How much gasoline you have in the car dictates how much you put in the car. So there's not unlimited amounts of gasoline, right? So each day you can start with a full tank, but by the end of the day it's empty. So that's why it's really important in the morning when you have your full tank of gas that you accomplish your one most important thing. And that one thing will compound each other out. You know, each day you get that one thing done, that finishes your week. Each week you get that one thing done, that finishes your month, that month your quarter, that quarter your year, right? So as entrepreneurs, we're always looking to do a million things at once, right? Bruce Lee has another saying, I don't fear a man who's practiced 10,000 kicks. I fear a man who's practiced one kick 10,000 times. What that means is forget about doing a million things. That's not productive. You know, what's productive is using your skills and wisdom and knowledge to focusing on that one most important thing you have to get done, whatever that means. So if your task at the end of the week is closing a deal, forget everything else. What do you need to do to close that deal? Really dissect that one task and break it apart and put it into one small piece a day. Jerry Seinfeld, it's called the Seinfeld principles, you know. Don't break the chain. They ask, hey, Jerry, you know, you're one of the most accomplished people in Hollywood, you know, how is this possible? He's like, simple. I have a calendar behind me like this, and he's like, each day I make sure I get one thing accomplished towards my goal. I put an X. Next day, I put an X. Following the day, I put an X. And if I've ever seen there's no X, like a 0, I broke the chain. I screwed up. I got to start over. That's how simple this process is, and he's one of the most successful people in Hollywood ever.
That's really cool, and that goes really well into what we trained him on the MAP process, which Jim Rohn to Mind Blank, other guy in the Brotherhood, coach. So it goes really well with that.
Herman.
Todd Herman, yes. Yeah, we train him that, which goes really well with that. That's so cool, man. I'm learning a ton. Did you have any more questions, Aga? Melanie asked about
I'm good for now.
Cool.
That was good. Thank you.
Melanie asked about naps. I'm assuming that you don't. Do you take naps, or do you have to? Maybe
naps
you don't.
Are a tool. They should be used accordingly when you need them. If you have to take a nap every single day, there's a problem. Now, some days you're overstressed. Sure, nap. Some days maybe you worked out too hard. Sure, nap. But to say that you need a nap every single day, there's an underlying issue going on, okay? And I just want to stress, though, if you do take a nap, make sure it's under 20 minutes. That's really important, because past that, there's something called sleep pressure proteins. It's called BMAL and clock. They're located in your pineal gland right here in the back of your head. And they phosphorylate, just a fancy scientific term for uncoupling. They break apart and do this. And pretty much is when you sleep past 20 minutes, they will uncouple and break apart, and they think it's sleep time. So when the nighttime comes, you don't have enough of that pressure, those proteins all compact together to put you to bed. So that's really important that you keep your nap times 20 minutes below, and to kind of optimize your naps when you need them, not every day, when you need them. As I would recommend is going on YouTube, and they're free, is look up binaural beats and look at theta waves, so THETA or beta waves, okay? Not alpha waves, those are energy waves. But you want the stage 5 REM sleep, so that's beta and theta waves. And you can have that in the background or headsets, and that's going to really help you go faster into REM sleep, which is responsible for healing your body, recuperating energy, etc., etc.
So you listen to that as you nap, you said?
Yeah, you could. Like, one of my routines is, sorry, my phone's broken here. I just smashed the other day, but I'll show you quickly. Yeah. So I have an app in the morning, so I reconnect to the frequencies of the planet. All this may sound geeky, guys, but believe it or not, all this is validified in quantum physics. Like this whole idea of vibrations and frequencies has been going on for the last 200 years with scientists. And the science is here is just like it's a big elephant in the room, and some people find it hard to swallow that pill, that we are beings of frequencies. So basically, I have this free app. It's called Binaural Beats Therapy. You can get it on the iPhone. I have the Galaxy thing here. So basically, in the morning, I do this. So in the morning, we want to be more active. So pretty much, you have different sections. So one will be like, I don't know if you guys, it'll say stimulation. So I go to stimulation, and I'll click highest mental activity, and I'll click start. So I wake up, and while I'm doing my journaling, so I do a 5-minute journal. I'll just put this to the mic. You guys can hear that. Can everyone hear it?
Yeah.
So that's alpha waves, okay? So that's the rhythm of the Earth. The Earth also has frequencies. It'll go throughout the day alpha, and in the nighttime it'll go to beta. It has its own frequency. And that frequency is controlled by the sun. So people say, oh, the Earth changes. I'm like, yeah. You know, in Australia may be daytime, over here it's nighttime, vice versa. But those frequencies are controlled by the sun. So in the morning, I listen to high energy, which is alpha. Then at nighttime before bed, for like 15 minutes, there's a section over here called sleep. I'll turn on the beta theta waves.
Huh. That's so cool. I've heard people talk about binaural beats before. I mean, yeah, that's really cool. What's the app called again?
Binaural Beats Therapy.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go through. We'll have a tool. You mentioned so many cool things to get and download, so I'm gonna put a tool list at the end of this. Rick had a really good question. It was one of my questions too, more along what your morning routine is. He said, "I'm curious about starting the day. It takes me a few hours in the morning before I can focus on something. I'm just generally foggy and scattered for those first few hours. Is that really a sleep thing, or is there a morning routine that he should be doing?"
Well, there's a couple of things. Usually when you're groggy in the morning, it's called a melatonin hangover. Your body got jolted out of stage 5 sleep, which is not good. So one I would address is the nighttime routine. Make sure you're avoiding lights. That's number one we just talked about. So this is my morning routine. I wake up, and I don't quickly jump out of bed. I chill out, and I say grace. Like, thank God I'm alive. It's a great day. I'm above ground. Nothing else matters to me. I'm breathing. Good day to be alive. Then I get up, I go to my kitchen right away, and I draw out 1 liter of water. So I have this right away. So 1 liter of water with a tablespoon of organic baking soda. I add my specialized phytoplankton that I get, so for my DHA, so for my cell membranes, I put phytoplankton in there. Then I add also magnesium powder in there. I shake that guy up, and I drink it. Now, I'm goofy and geeky. I have magnets in my water that resonates my water for frequencies, but that's a whole different story. But I drink that. That water is going to amp up your mitochondria, which that means you're going to get more energy. It's going to hydrate your mind, which is going to be quicker reaction time. You're going to feel much better very fast. So that's 1 liter, though. Now, some people may find it hard to chug 1 liter. 1 liter is 2 water bottles, like those regular water bottles. That's 1 liter. Now, if you find it hard to drink 1 liter, just start with half a liter, so 500 milliliters, and work your way up. But forget even the stuff I added in. If you're going to take anything away from this, is drink 1 liter of water in the morning. It's super, super important. Okay. Then afterwards, I make a small espresso shot on my mocha top. So I have that, and while I have it timed, so I know exactly it takes 12 minutes, nice and slow. And in that 12 minutes, I do journaling. So I use something called the 5-minute journal by my friend Alex and UJ Ramdas, and basically I just do my gratitudes, what I want to accomplish, what I want to do. I close that up. Once I'm done with that, I'm learning some Spanish, so I use programs such as Duolingo with Pimsleur, so I do a 20-minute Spanish lesson, and then I do my mandatory half-an-hour walk in the morning bare feet.
Cool.
And that's it.
And what time do you wake up at?
Thank you. Right now I'm running free time a little bit. That means I'm going more accordance to when the sun rises. So give or take right now in British Columbia, that is roughly 7:05, 7:07.
Okay. So you change. That's new to me. So you actually change you don't keep it the same year round. You change it as the sun.
If I have the luxury to keep it at according to the sun when it rises, I will. However, some days when I have to take early calls, it is what it is. So let me put it this way. If you have the luxury of reprogramming your body to naturally wake up with the sun, do it. But once again, I'm also, I guess, lucky because my bedroom faces the sun.
Yeah.
So I get the rays coming in right away, which wakes me up.
So what time do you approximately start workout? Looks like maybe it's an hour, so maybe 8.
I'll say an hour 15.
Okay.
And then 2 hours of that morning is my one thing. So emails, clients, product creation, whatever it may be. My week is broke up into the Dan Sullivan system, which is 2 days concentration, meaning product creation, no emails, no calls, no nothing. 3 days of tidy work, so tidy up janitorial work, meaning take the calls, email people. It's not really productive. And 2 days I don't do any work. I'm not allowed. So no cell phone, no emails, no computer, no nothing. Those 2 days my body processes the week and starts creating new ideas for the next week.
That's awesome. Is there a book by Dan Sullivan for that stuff, or is that just some personal?
Oh yeah, I would recommend anyone. He has so much free stuff out there. Look up Strategic Business Coach, 10x Philosophies. 10x Philosophies. Anything by Sullivan, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard Dane and Andy have talked a lot about Dan Sullivan. I haven't done any of his stuff.
Well, he's from Toronto too, so he has amazing events in Toronto. Yeah.
Yeah. They said they go up there. Yeah, they go to Toronto to do his conferences or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Dude, this is so awesome. I mean, I'm learning so much more as well. I really like this whole water thing too, like, because I mean, I started drinking more water, but it seems like I could even do better at the kind of water I drink, and that's really, really.
Well, let me put it this way, though, because this is another big elephant in the room, and we have to understand this is a danger. Like, as entrepreneurs, we're around electronics. We're electronics all over the place.
Yeah.
Electronics emit EMF, electromagnetic frequency, or radiation. It's a real danger. It's not hidden information. And there's so many studies showing this one thing. And I'm not going to go into all craziness about it. It's going to kill you. No. I just want to talk about one simple thing connected to water. Okay? Before I go to this topic, I want to ask you this question. What happens when you put a steak in a microwave?
It's rubbery. Yeah.
Yeah, rubbery. Why? How does a microwave work? It's called a Faraday cage. It's no different. It's EMFs concentrated that can't escape, and it makes a steak rubbery and dry. Keyword dry.
Huh.
The EMFs from your computer, from your Wi-Fi, from your cell phone, from your environment are the microwaves. They are dehydrating your cells. They cause something called a heat shock protein to explode in your cell. Your cell gets a hole like a water balloon, and all the intracellular water drains out. Same thing as a steak in the microwave, no different.
Yeah.
So that's why water is even more important today than it was before, because the EMFs around you are dehydrating your cells. So please, if you're going to take anything from this, with the sleep and everything, focus on water. Water is your friend.
That's awesome, man. No, and I've heard, like I said, I know you're coming out with a product. I'll just kind of say this here too. You're coming out with a product for this, mainly for men, right? Underwear product, and then you're going to be coming out with to block these.
Yeah, we're coming out with a full line for both men and female by next spring, and that company is Reparo. So we're doing our Indiegogo campaign as of November 10th till December 20th.
Nice. It's awesome, man. Is there any other questions you guys have here for Ameer? This is some seriously awesome stuff. Is there, Ameer, I guess, like, just as we wrap up here, you've kind of alluded to, like, what we can take away from number one is the water thing, so 1 liter of water every morning, and then the type of water is reverse osmosis.
Spring water or reverse osmosis water. Okay.
So I'm going to be heading to the store to find that. Another thing I'm going to get is the UVX blue light glasses, and then it sounds like the other big actionable thing is just gradually bringing our sleep time back to around getting in bed at 10 p.m. is ideal, but shutting things down at 8, and then really kind of relaxing at night.
Exactly. Like, for example, people say, well, can I go to sleep later on? I'm like, Yes and no. It goes back to consistencies. Like if we're gonna be like shticklers over here, like for example, if you live in a 4-season climate, summertime sometimes the sun sets at 10 o'clock,
Yeah,
depending on where
especially
you're
up here in BC for sure. Yeah.
right? But however, for example, in Toronto, in the dead of winter, my God, it's pitch black at 5 o'clock sometimes.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna tell people go to sleep at
Yeah.
5 o'clock. It's not gonna happen. They're at work, right? So to keep things square and simple, 10 p.m. all year round works.
Cool. Yeah, that's what I remember you saying. And then the other thing, to bookend that is waking up, at a consistent time or close to sunrise, and then getting your morning routine. And yeah.
Bottom line is consistency. The body doesn't like fluctuations. It doesn't like here, there, this, that.
Yeah.
It has to be consistent. It has to have a plan.
Yeah. And what do you? And so this is actually a question, just a quick question to go over. What is the optimal hours of sleep? So we've been going to bed at 10. Waking up at 6:30, that's 8.5 hours. Is that what our body needs?
It's not the time that matters. It is the quality and when you get exposed to light and when you don't.
Okay.
Because remember, like you can go to Costa Rica or you can go to a tropical climate that has longer light hours, meaning shorter nights.
Mm-hmm.
However, they're exposed to light during the day, which energizes your cells, your circadian cells, and at nighttime they're not exposed to anything. So it's the quality, not the quantity.
Cool, man. And then and then trying this to entrepreneurs. I think what this really, if we can apply this, and I want everyone to say what they're going to apply here. I definitely have a lot of things I'm going to. If we can apply this as entrepreneurs, A, we're going to be more healthy. And B, I think this is really going to solve a lot of our energy issues, and help us to have a better daytime, life and focus. And actually, I think I can see it in you. Like every time I talk to you, like you are so energetic. You just have this. It's crazy. Like it's really, really noticeable. And I think if we tie that to our business, I think we're going to achieve what we want in our lives more, and have a better life because of this. I think it's a really big. I know for me. Hindrance to what I want to do is this whole energy issue. So I think that's how we can tie it back to really living an awesome life and our entrepreneur goals.
Well, look at this. Healthier mind is healthier wealth. As simple as that.
Yeah.
You think clearer, you think better, you think faster, you react better, make better decisions. As entrepreneurs, we care about delivering value to the world, creating the world a better place, right? Rumi has a saying though. I always talk about this. Yesterday I was clever, I wanted to change the world. Today I'm wise, I want to change myself. So always start with yourself. If you can make yourself better a little bit every single day, just think about that on an exponential return basis. Where are you going to be a year from now? Where are you going to be 2 years from now? Because markets change, businesses crash. The business you're in right now, I guarantee you probably won't be in 50 years from now. It's very seldom that the businesses we start, we stay for 60, 70 years. We may turn out to be investors, such as Warren Buffett and other people that we have 20 million businesses. However, what's consistent is you. Our economies in North America, Canada, United States can collapse. Don't think for any second that we live in this utopic society that nothing can happen. My grandfather was a multimillionaire in Yugoslavia. That country was the pinnacle country in Europe for 50 years. One day, war happened. He was broke the next day because the government took everything from him. However, he had himself. He had his health. He had his mind. And he can transplant himself anywhere else. China's opening up. I do a lot of business in China. It's going to make United States and Canada look like a speck when it comes to the market. Now, if you have a healthy mind, body, you can think clearly, you can go over there, transplant yourself from North America to the Asias and dominate over there, So it's really important that you invest in yourself, Don't work on the businesses, don't work on anything else, but make yourself better on a day-to-day basis.
Awesome, man. We're getting close to time here. So I'm going to start, and everyone, let's unmute yourselves. Let's say, even just one action point that you're going to commit to moving forward from this. I think that's a really important part of these things to make it, really ingrained and make it actionable. For me, this was awesome, Ameer. Like, I really, really appreciate it. Like, I'm going to be going to buy those blue light, the UVEX blue light glasses for sure. I want to do that. I also want to buy the light therapy box. But the biggest thing I'm going to apply is I'm going to start with. I'm going to get back on my sleep routine that you told me a while back, which I did, and then I don't know what happened. I've been traveling a lot too, so that's a whole other issue to how to do it with you do that, but I want to get back on that consistent cycle. So my commitment is specifically I'm going to be starting with shutting off kind of around, I want to start with 9 p.m. and I'll get down to 8, and then getting in bed at 10 and waking up at 6:30. That's going to be my commitment. And then again, the water thing, I'm going to switch my water to reverse osmosis, and then probably bug you to see all those other little things you put into that. So I'm going to be applying those things. I'm really, really excited to do that. This is perfect, as you can tell. I'm sick on this call right now, so it's a perfect. This is perfect. Cool. So thanks so much, man. Aga, you want to unmute yourself and let us know what you took away and what you want to apply?
Yeah, lots of good stuff. I think big takeaway for me, the morning routine. I wake up really groggy usually, and I can't get myself out of the bed. So that's really cool. I think the water will definitely help. And then focusing on 2 hours, I love that. I'm so gonna do it from tomorrow. So yeah, let's see how much I can get done in these 2 hours. Really good. Thanks a lot.
Awesome. Hey, Fabi.
Hey. Yeah, so me, I'm definitely doing the water thing. So in Brazil, I was also drinking a lot of water, so it makes sense. And I'm gonna start going back, trying to sleep a little bit earlier. Yeah, I think those are the biggest things that I'm
I'll
gonna
pause you there. Yoda from Star Wars has a saying: "There is no try, only do."
Yeah.
Do it. Don't try it. Trying is like, no. What does Richard Branson said? It's like hell yeah or no. You're either all in or you don't do it. So don't try. Just apply it and do it.
Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna sleep earlier. I'm gonna drink more water. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna do.
Awesome, Fabi. Hey, Melanie.
I'm definitely going to change the type of water I've been drinking, because I've drank a lot of water, but it's been tap water, so I'm going to switch that up. And definitely getting back to the nature part. Definitely when I'm on vacation or I go camping, I definitely feel 1,000 times better. And it just feels so good, and then you just think for the rest of the year, why don't I do this more often? Like, why am I doing this all the time? So definitely more of that. So I actually moved out of Toronto to get a backyard. So I'm going to take more advantage of that, and I have hiking trails and walking trails near my house, so definitely that walk for sure. Awesome talk, though. Great stuff.
Cool. Mr. Rick.
Hey, yeah. So I've already got the RO water. I'm going to add in, I'm going to chuck in that liter in the morning. That sounds great. And add it with the DHA, I think. Oil, and also going to work on lights at night, and probably grabbing. Are they the blue? Are they the orange glasses? The orange UVX glasses that cut the blue light?
Yeah, the UVX one. Just go on Amazon, type in blue light blocker glasses, and the company's UVX. UVEX.
Cool. Yeah.
They're like $10. Don't spend more than $20 on any glasses.
That's what I was saying. I think I've seen them before for like $5 or $10. So
yeah.
Can do that. Awesome.
Cool. Ameer, how can we support you? Like, what are your goals right now? I mean, your blog is awesome, so I'm going to tell everyone that listens to you guys now, and everyone listens, go to your blog. It's ameerrosic.com, AMEERROSIC.com. You have so much awesome stuff on there. Like, this is just the beginning of I think, what we could start doing and applying. But yeah, what are your goals? Like, how could we as Sterling Assembly support you? I know you're coming up with a product right now. How can we support you?
Yeah, so I'm coming out with an Indiegogo campaign on November 10th for Reparo, the world's first premium clothing line to protect you from EMF, because let's face it, we need the laptops and cell phones for our businesses, and they're here to stay, and they're just evolving. And I'm not going to tell anybody that, hey, you got to chuck these away. So how can we live with them in unity? And this is where, I have one right here. This is where this is coming in, Reparo. So we're just starting with the underwear right now, but we're going a full clothing line for both men and women next spring, but pretty much this protects you 99.99% of all radiation. And as I mentioned before, EMF causes issues with sperm, EMF causes issues with dehydration. So on November 10th, we're launching Reparo Indiegogo campaign. So if you guys want, just share that campaign on that day when you see the link, and I would really appreciate it.
Cool, man. I'm looking forward to that. That's awesome. Very, very cool. Yeah, I'm gonna share. We're gonna break this interview down, and I'll share this all with everyone too. So I'm really, really appreciative of it, man. And thanks for taking your time to come chat with us all here. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure, Josh. Anytime, bro.
Cool. All right, I'm gonna